Hello everyone, my name is Mariokins, and welcome back to Hand of Fate. Last time, we defeated the Jack of Dusts, our first boss battle in the entire game. And now, we continue to see what happens next.
Good. Now you understand the basics, we can begin in earnest. Your hero is returned to his beginning items. Our decks are reset. Welcome to the cabinet, home of the members of my court.
As he was saying, everything that happened before, besides beating the Jack of Dust, now doesn't matter. We're back to our starting items every time we start a new round of the game. If we go into story mode here, we can look at the cabinet, and this is where our bosses are held. These 12 cards represent the 12 bosses of the game. After defeating 3 bosses, we'll unlock a permanent upgrade, represented here. Now, we spent quite a bit of time explaining stuff last episode, so let's just jump right in, as much as we can. Over here we can see, this will be the Jack of Dust. To the right we can see a list of challenges. Those are things that the dealer is going to be adding to the deck. Very simple
Time
cards.
for you to face my undead army. Meet the Jack of Skulls.
Thank you for interrupting me. Right now what we're going to do is, we're going to go into the deck builder. We're not going to go with their recommendations. And now we actually get to pick our cards. We have 3 different decks in front of us. Equipment, Fate, and Encounters. Fate is just your game mode. Yeah, we're going to ignore that. You start with Default. There's also Apprentice, which is easy mode. Warlord, which is hard mode. And then there's all these other ones that are unlocked by buying the Wildcard DLC. I'll get to all of this stuff soon enough, but for now we're just going to continue to play on Adventurer, or Default mode. Now on to Equipment. These are all of the different weapons, armors, items that can appear throughout the game. We've got some new ones that we got in the last episode for defeating the Jack of Skulls, or, excuse me, Jack of Dusts. If we look at this, if we look for information, this card is new, and thus its contents are unknown. Find this card during play, and its secrets will be revealed. So we don't actually know what this card does unless we find it. So I'm going to go ahead and add all of the new cards to the deck. And we need 12 cards, so I'm going to take some cards out that are basic, and now we've got 12 cards. That's fine. Now on to Encounters. This is where the game gets really interesting. These are all of the different spaces we can land on. As you can see, we have these down here that we played with last time, and we have these 4 up here. Now these do not have tokens associated with them, meaning that they're not going to give us any prizes. But these have tokens. These 4 up here all have tokens, meaning that if we complete these cards in a certain way, we get more cards, which is always good. You gotta keep getting stuff to keep getting stuff, to keep succeeding. That's how any RPG works, that's how it works here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add all of these to the deck and try to get each of their tokens. Now we need to remove something because we've got too many cards.
Some cards are locked and cannot be removed from your deck.
That's the point I was gonna be making. Yeah, some of these cards are locked. We can't remove them.
Locked cards cannot be removed until you have fulfilled their conditions.
Yeah, so there are conditions to removing these. Like this one can only be removed by defeating it, or by winning its condition. And obviously, we're always going to have some form of boss in the deck. So we got to remove something. So let's remove something without a token. And the only 3 that we can remove without a token are these 3 fights. I'm gonna say we remove Ambush. It doesn't really matter too much, but I think Ambush gives us the least rewards, and it gives us the least options in case for whatever reason we don't want to fight. Alright, that looks good. So now we're gonna go back and face the Jack of Skulls.
New content awaits you. It will be awarded when you complete your run. I will add my own cards to the deck. How boring life would be without a little spice. play for life and death. Prepare yourself.
So what the dealer was talking about earlier with this new content is there have been some expansions to the game that they come with the game. The game refers to them internally as DLC, but you get them with the game, and they're just encounter chains in which one encounter leads to another, there's prizes along the way. It's just more quests, more stuff, which will be unlocked to us, win or lose, at the end of this game.
Given how rarely one encounters the folk, you are fortunate indeed to meet Merith again. Or perhaps we are merely cycling around the wheel and dipping into the same memories time and time again.
Damn it, dealer. Now, seeing as this, we've already encountered this card, not going to spend too much time reading it. We're just going to ask, for money, because I believe we'll encounter a shop soon.
Merith seems surprised. It is unlike an adventurer to beg for coin, but very well, if that is your wish.
3 gold gain cards.
I'm sure you are grateful for that.
So yeah, now we're pretty loaded. We've already read that out loud, so I'm just gonna move on to the next one. Twisted Canyon.
It lives in every game. That initial moment where things begin. I have worked on these cards all my days, and the canyon has been there from the outset.
Okay, now this is new information. I prefer to keep my eye on the failure card.
A choice. Select your
Make
desire.
sure it wasn't on top. I've played this game a fair amount of time, so I've gotten pretty good at that. And we get the weapon card of an axe. Yeah, it's better than our
Are
rusty
you sure that's the right
piece
approach?
of trash, so. And you see, this means this is a new encounter that we've never seen before, because it's face down, now that we first landed on it. So we're going to reveal this card to be River.
Running water protects against many things in myth. Generally, though, it's just a pain to get past. There's a token in it for you if you win.
Your path is blocked by a river. The water is clean, but fast flowing. Attempt to cross. Now this is our first instance of huge success, and the only way to get the token is to select the huge success, which is this one. Yes, son of a biscuit. Your light armor makes the crossing easy, and you even stop to dive for some shiny stones on the riverbed that may fetch a few coins. The dealer draws you 1 gold gain card. Good fortune, you get 20 gold. Once on the other side of the river, you realize that one of the stones is in fact a ring. You put it away to have it cleaned and identified later, then continue on your journey.
The token is yours. Well done.
So what that card was saying earlier, light armor made it easy to cross. Sometimes the equipment you have can affect which success or failure cards will appear in that drawing. So we're climbing the stairs.
Head downwards if you dare.
Because every map will typically at the end have a stairs or another card that will take you to the next map or the boss itself. So let's take the stairs.
Many have reached this far. Further, in fact. I do not know if you have what it takes to do better than they did.
Don't sass me. Mr. Lionel.
I'm starting to wonder if you're simply leaving this card in as a quick way to get your hands on a shield.
I'm leaving this card in because you can't let me take it out. Now I think we've got enough food to last us the rest of the journey, so I'm thinking about giving him the bread on my plate. Asking him what he needs. Sometimes he can take random pieces of equipment, or he'll just like take something from you. This generally might be more costly. It might not, but it's a guarantee. So we're just going to give him 1 piece of bread. He's going to give us a shield. Fortune's Breath. Every third encounter does not consume food. Press the B button to shield bash a target, stunning it. It's always good. And if we already had a shield, he might give us some food gain cards. He might give us a blessing, which we haven't gotten to yet. I'll explain that when it's pertinent, what blessings are. It's exactly what you think it is, I'm willing to bet. Next encounter. Captain of the Guards.
I always thought it was best to avoid the problems of others. I see you have no such concerns. Win this and claim my token.
You hear a shout from up ahead and the sounds of battle. Racing forwards, you discover a warrior surrounded by undead. Broken bones litter the area around the man, but there are still more closing in on him, and he appears badly injured. "Stranger!" he calls out as he throws his weapon at you. "Here! Take my mace and put an end to these monstrosities!" And now we get a mace. 27
It's
damage.
a lump of iron on a stick. Not terribly subtle.
And it's also got an effect called Holy. Equipment with this trait strikes fear into the cold hearts of the undead. They will sustain more damage and may not be resurrected around such holy relics. So, considering we're fighting undead, and it's just better anyways, we're going to equip it, regardless of the dealer thinking it not elegant or subtle. And this is our first introduction to the Suit of Skulls. The undead. Hello, my friends. Now, the mace is slower than most weapons, as you may expect from sort of Elder Scrolls experience or just in general. But, as you can see, we make quick work of those skeletons. Good work putting them to rest. Keep the mace. We have enough back at Kadir. Probably butchered the heck out of that. We have enough back at Kadir, he says, slowly standing. We've been hearing reports of undead in our kingdom recently, and I came to investigate. He stops to look around at all the bone fragments. More of them here than I suspected. Some new horror must have decided to settle in these parts and brought its minions. I must head back to the capital and report this to the Duke. Watch your step, friend. There's something more powerful at work than just these skeletons. This card's token is now yours. I'll take it.
Deeper towards our foe.
We could go down the stairs, but there is that one other card, so we're going to decline and check out this other card real quick. Traveling Tinker. Let's approach the shop. I'm not sure if I've read this shop specifically. They're all the same pretty much, just different items at them. The items available are random, but the types of items are not. This is our first instance of medium armor. It's just
Distinctly average. What do you expect me to say? Congratulations?
yeah, it's, as the dealer is saying, this is some pretty average armor, but it's better than what we've got, so we're gonna buy
Armor
it.
protects you from damage. The best armor, of course, does so much more.
Where else? Yeah, let's
An
buy these.
item that tells you how to move quickly, but tempts you to take your time.
The dealer and I aren't going to get along much during this let's play, it seems. The Explorer's Helm. Reveals stairs encounters upon entering a level, and grants gold bonuses for revealing every encounter on a level. We're going to buy
Interesting
that.
choice.
And the Mercenary's Contract. Once per combat, press right bumper to activate an aura that makes every successful strike drop gold.
Artifacts give you powerful abilities to use in combat.
And we're going to sell our old axe because we no longer need it. That's everything. You could also buy some food now. It's cheaper than at the traveling mage we were at earlier, so yeah. I think we're going to buy a little bit, just in case. Spend our money. Can't take it with you, right? Right, and now we descend into the depths.
Were you hoping this was the end? No. Another floor awaits.
I knew it wasn't the end.
What brings you to play the game? Ha! I know you will not tell me. Like all the rest, you are silent.
Another fight.
An ambush. Hardly fair, is it?
You want my gold? I've got 2. Doesn't matter if I give it to you. You won't not attack. It was perfect English. You'll attack anyways, because you don't actually. You are going to make me money. Gold drops on the ground. Digga-diggy-do-do, digga-diggy-do. Got red stripes all over the place. Alright, there we go. That's that fight done. And we went from 2 gold to 34 gold in one use of the mercenaries contract. Pretty good, I'd say. Now we'll loot the bodies.
In my day, we simply avoided being wounded. Healing will suffice, however.
Actually, it won't. I will not be equipping that. That purple
One of
outline
my
around
cards. A small benefit.
as
I will not be so graceful for long.
As I was about to say, that purple card, that card with the purple tint, that purple tint meant that the dealer had added that in. It doesn't change the effect of the card. It just means it's going in there whether you like it or not, because the dealer said so. Ah.
I'm impressed. Few select these sorts of weapons because nobody ever anticipates being in peril. Such misplaced confidence is usually their downfall.
Desperate measures. This mace inflicts more damage the lower the health of the wielder is. 32 damage to 27. It's better even at full health. And if we get hurt, it just helps us even more. That's all what I love doing, is turning a liability, losing health, into an asset of dealing more damage. So now that we've done that...
It's enough to put you off crossing at bridges like this. Surely there's an alternative that would leave you less exposed and vulnerable.
While crossing the ancient rope bridges of Dead Man's Gorge, you hear the sounds of movements from below. It's another ambush. That's fine. We'll kill them too. We are quite murderous, it seems. Heck out of these guys. Combat will get more involved, more interesting as time goes on. Now we're still in the early stages of the game, and it's simply beat the heck out of everyone. And that's another fight won. Get us some loot. We get to choose one. I want this one.
A knife for all, and mercy for none.
Democles. Pretend that's how you say
As
that.
pleases you.
We're gonna equip that. Gain some more food and get some money. Woo. New encounter. Devil's Choice.
I like this demon. He lies as often as he tells the truth.
A cloaked devil appears in your path. I'm here to test your might, so-called hero. Choose your foe. Now this is interesting because he deals us 3 cards and he gives us our choice. However, sometimes you get your choice. Sometimes you get everything but. So if I were to select the first card, this 2 of Dust, I might fight the 2 of Dust, or I might fight this card and this card, which would just be more bandits. So what I generally like to do is pick the middle path. So here I would pick the 3 of Dust. If he gives me my choice, I fight 3. If he doesn't give me my choice, I fight 4, rather than fighting 2 or 5. Gives me less extremes. Although generally, if you don't pick... Generally, I find that if you pick the easiest one, he gives you the harder 2, and if you pick the hardest one, hoping he's lying to you, he'll tell the truth and give you what you picked. Is what I find. I can't confirm that, but that's the pattern I've noticed. So we're going to pick this 3, and he offers us 4. It's dead. Makes no difference to me. We'll kill them all. I think this is the first time I've seen it rain in this game. Shouldn't affect anything. Thanks, Lord. Still able to get some serious help. Need the artifacts against such weak and pathetic opponents. They really do become more useful in harder combats and later on in the game when we have to fight more powerful enemies that are more difficult to deal with, smarter, faster, stronger, etc.
Excellent! The devil cries. You have passed my cunning test. Have some treasure. Perhaps next time our paths cross, I will kill you myself.
3 gain cards. All of the loot and another set of meat.
Middle of the road in every way.
5 minutes. And another token. This episode is Token Mania. Due to those DLCs.
One more step down, and we may see the end of this, or another set of stairs. Good. Now all you need to do is find and kill the Jack of Skulls, and we can progress.
Sorry. How do you feel to be interrupted by a pause menu, Mr. Dealer? Alright, I'm just joking. But now that we're at the final level, the Explorer's Helm ain't gonna do us much good, so I'm gonna switch over to the Healing Cap. I generally don't do this equipment switching very often, but I find here, because I happen to have both, might as well. New encounter. Jack of Skulls! Probably. Bandit attack.
Our bandits are displeased with your challenges.
A group of bandits suddenly attacks. The King of Dust isn't happy about you killing his men! Fight some bandits. Seems like that's all we're doing. We haven't even fought that many skeletons against the Jack of Skulls board. Maybe that'll change. And there we go. Another fight won. None of these fights are really too difficult just yet. Among the bodies, you find a scrap of parchment with a rough description of you, plus an offer of a reward from the King of Dust. And we loot the battlefield.
I'm sure you're grateful for that.
A shop. Perfect. Yep. Buy some stuff. Da 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 da. One thing you can do at a shop is you can heal your wounds, but I'm at full health, so that doesn't matter. Chains of Rage. I think this is the first time we've seen this card. During combat, strikes sustained from bows and wands have a chance to restore your cooldowns. Well, it's medium armor. It's got a special effect, and I've got nothing better to spend money on.
An excellent way to turn an injury into an asset.
My thoughts exactly, dealer. Sell off all this extra gear we don't need. It's just taking up space otherwise. Sure, self-mercenary contract. Probably wasn't worth buying, but yeah, it's whatever. No point in buying food. We got 23 and 3 cards left to unflip. Now, I believe the Jack of Skulls to be this card right here. So I'm gonna go back and retrace steps, because once you encounter the boss, that's game, and I want to potentially get one more token. Or I was wrong.
The undead. Of all the players in the game, these are the most dangerous in the world, yet in no natural form. A wrongness, an error, cheating.
Okay, fine, make a liar out of me, dealer. Jack of Skulls. This tenacious undead is unusually difficult to lay to rest. In addition to sheer strength, the skeleton has the power to revive recently defeated skeletons in its close vicinity. Serving as captains to squads of lesser skeletons, these unholy abominations strike fear into the hearts of all warm-blooded folk. For until this fiend is defeated, their legions are, effectively, endless.
A challenge for you, and a token if you succeed.
Well, of course there's tokens. This is a boss. Every boss has tokens. Multiple tokens. The only cards to have multiple tokens. Let's see. What kind of introduction do you get, Jack? As you can see, he's got a shield, so we may not necessarily be able to bash through him. Because we've got a mace and a holy weapon.
Shots from rifles cannot be deflected. You would do better to avoid them. Are you agile enough?
Well, as you can see there, one, we were just beating our mace against Jack's shield. Now Jack is using his ability to revive. And these two guys back here, riflemen, you'll see will get a red prompt over their heads, indicating they're about to fire. Something that cannot be reflected by a shield, logically. And now we can beat these skeletons to death all day long, but Jack is just going to keep bringing them back. So let's see. Oh shoot. We can take care of Jack here. I'll try to interrupt that. And now Jack's defeated. Just got a couple of skeletons to take care of now. And the game is over. Let's see if I can get this right on this one of the patterns. Looks so derpy with the healer's cap.
Ah, well done. Well done indeed. But you have roused the dead in their dusty tombs, and even I cannot say what will come of it. Now our wager becomes more interesting. Will the tools you've earned suffice to address the challenges I pose? That is the question, is it not?
Alright, so now we've defeated the Jack of Skulls. Thank you all for joining me. Before you go, let's claim our reward. This first token in front of us is one of the DLCs, the Murder at Sea DLC, giving us the Landlocked Lubber, which is locked into our deck no matter what. So I guess I'll be showing this, whether I like it or not. Our second DLC, the Hunt for the White Minotaur, giving us our first encounter in this quest, the Song of the White Minotaur. The White Council is expanding its influence, adding another DLC into our game. The White Council. The Goblin King's Hall DLC is ready, giving us our first quest, dealing with the Goblin King's Hall. And our fifth and final DLC, the Underworld, awaits your sacrifice. And now on to our normal loot. For diving into the river, you receive Ring of Survival. For helping the captain of the guards, you receive Mace and Mace. For surviving the Devil's Choice, you receive Devil's Wager. And for defeating my skeleton Jack, you receive these new cards: the Crucible, Queen of Dusts, Helpful Priest, and Desert Storm, all of which with tokens, all of which will be shown in later episodes. And now, for the real prizes, the equipment. We gain Helm of Reflection, Consuming Shame, Angel's Wings, and Frostfang.
Shall we deal again?
Thank you all for joining me. I have been Mariokins, and this has been another episode of Hand of Fate. Join us next time where we take on the Queen of Skull, the Queen of Dust. I'll see you guys then.